Hey, Michael Ashley here, talking about Mukurtu Moment, specifically around Mukurtu Mobile. We had our webinar just yesterday, and some great questions came up. One of those questions that came up has to do with geolocations. I mean, one of the main purposes of Mukurtu Mobile is that you can take Mukurtu out with you into the world, not necessarily even with internet, so you can record stories, events, and other types of experiences with and actually have them located in place. So the very first time that you use Mukurtu, it's going to ask you if you like to allow it to use your current location, and that's going to be true just like most mobile apps that have location services in them. So when I click OK on this, I'm basically giving Mukurtu Mobile permission to know where I am, and that's a good thing if I want to actually put those stories in place. But I'm going to show you a couple ways that we can manage how that content is shared and protected. Okay, here we are in Mukurtu, and I have location services turned on, and I'm going to show you how to turn this off in just a second. But because they're turned on, I can come here to a map and I can zoom in and come and show you guys exactly where the CODA offices are in Larkspur, California, because this is exactly where I am. So when I go to create content, it's going to tell me 700 Larkspur Landing Circle, and we're 900. So it's very, very close to precise. Also, we mentioned that when you take a photo, if location services are turned on for your camera on your iPad or Google Android device, the photo also has location data in it. So I'm going to come here and switch over to the camera and just take a photo here. Switch back over to Mukurtu Mobile. The reason I did that is because by doing that, I'm getting all of the metadata. We mentioned in the training yesterday that different applications sometimes can remove bits of metadata, and the best way to use to take pictures on your iPad is with a native camera, we have found. So I'm going to choose a photo, and now it's going to ask for access to my photos for the first time. And I'm coming to camera roll, and I'm going to choose that photo. See all the photos my son took too. And I'm going to then make this a Mukurtu Moment. I'm going to make it open. I'm going to make it training. I'm going to come here and I'll give a title. Now I'll show you another little interesting little trick here. Because I have internet access on my iPad, I can actually say test of geolocations and get a title just automatically by basically using the little microphone action. And this is a test of geolocations, demonstrating how to both turn them on and turn them off, period. Okay. And we'll save that. And then we're going to go ahead and upload this content. Okay. And now we can go look at it. And you can see that the test of geolocations item has been added. And when we go look at the item itself, we're going to come down here, we're going to see the map, and we're going to see all of its geolocation information. Again, very useful if you want to provide that information to people. Okay, so we're going to come on in, and we're going to see a very similar map, and this time we can even switch over to satellite view right here on the iPad, which is really cool. But I also said that the photo itself has geolocation data. So when I hit the plus sign, the photograph also is included latitude and longitude data. These are great things, but we have to be aware if you really want your location data to be protected at the point of creation, as opposed to managing it further downstream, say within Mukurtu, you have to be aware of all of the different ways that your apps are actually tracking where you are. So again, we normally think of this as a really good thing, but it is something that you have to be aware of. So let's say that you are recording something and you don't want any location information recorded at all. The way to do that is to come back here to Settings and come to Location Services. Let me go all the way back out here. So we'll go all the way back out to Settings. And in Settings, you tap on Privacy, you go to Location Services, and turn everything off. So I turned off all of my location services. Okay? So you'll see that suddenly all these apps that were tracking you are no longer tracking me at all. But there was a lot of apps tracking you. When I go back to the camera, I'm going to take another photo, and it's going to say turn on location services for the camera to determine my location, but I don't want it to do that right now. So I'll go ahead and take another picture, and I'm then going to go back to Mukurtu Mobile. Turn on location services to allow Mukurtu to determine your location. So it's asking me to do that. I'm going to hit cancel and not do that. I'm going to come here and go all the way out of Mukurtu and show you that this time, when I come into Mukurtu, it has no idea where I am. So it has no idea where I am currently. I would have to tell it where I am if I want to have it tracked onto a map, but I can go ahead and still create another item. And let's go ahead and just copy that. Trying as we do these things to show you all sorts of little shortcuts we've learned. So again, Mukurtu Moment, open. Oh yeah, webinar series, should have done that one last time. I'll get that later. And training, and save. So, gotta add the photo. So let's come here to choose photo. Come here to my camera roll, and that's this new one I just added. Hit save, upload that. Okay. So come back here to Premiere, and again you can see that's what's really neat. The way we built Mukurtu Mobile is it is going to tell you the last item that you uploaded, and it's also, as I mentioned, going to log you in. So let's take a look at photo with geolocation turned off, and we come down and there's no map. There's no map data. Come here and hit the plus sign for the photo, and there's a date and time, but there's no location data. So this is the way you can completely turn off location information while still getting the benefits of Mukurtu Mobile for field recording. As you can see, there's nothing left in Mukurtu Mobile here. But there is another way, and that way is to actually manage the location information once it has been created. Couple of ways of doing that. So we'll go back here to test of geolocations, and I'm going to edit this. So I tap on edit, and you'll see that we have our location information here down here under map. So if you wanted the location information, but you didn't want to have it on this particular item, we could actually export out this content to save it for posterity. Or we could go in here and simply remove this location information here, and it would be removed. So it gives you some choices so that you can go ahead and record the very richest information while you're in the field and still have some options down the line. If you don't want to get rid of the information and you want to have this stored, then we recommend that you would use, instead of having this be open, you would change this protocols to something more differentially accessed, a strict protocol specifically for the groups and people that you want to share this with, and then it will be privately managed by those protocols, which is really the whole point of Mukurtu. So I hope this helps, and we're happy to talk more about these things, but just the quick overview once more. So I'm going to reverse what I just did to show you one more time. I'm going to come back here to settings. I'm going to turn location services on. I'm going to note that the camera is tracking my location. That's what that little arrow indicates. Dark sky is a weather application. And then Mukurtu, you can see the little star there. So that when I go back to Mukurtu, now it knows my location again. So that's it. That's a quick run through of location services in Mukurtu, and thank you very much.